Hello beautiful people, welcome back to the Real Rep family. It's been a little bit since I've been on YouTube. I mean, it's really only been, I guess, a week, really, but it feels like forever. I've been doing this since March now, and I've been consistently at minimum doing a video a week, so not doing one for a week was like really weird. And I feel like it knocked me off of my ball that I was rolling on for YouTube, but I'm sitting here, I'm recording, so we're good. So everyone's doing good. As an update for everybody, we're going to be ordering food in the next week, so that means a lot of the reptiles are going to get upgraded. Every time I go to order a food, I order in quantities for 3 months for all of my snakes and Dart, because I usually order her quail and rats as well. So every 3 months I relook at who's eating what and if they need to be upgraded or if they need to stay on the same food or whatever it is. So I think a lot of them are going to be getting upgraded. Kronk will be getting upgraded to medium rats. Dar and Barney will be getting upgraded to, I think they're like extra large mice. Kobe can stay on small rats for now. Star-Lord needs extra large mice. Drax can get moved to extra large mice. Chip can probably be on extra large mice, and Rocket and Gamora are going to stay on what they're on, and then Aro, the big boy, is getting moved to extra large rats, which is going to be crazy. And then Peppa and Sally are staying the same with where they are. Sally is on Pinky Mice, and Peppa's actually on those Reptilinks I bought. And amazing news, Peppa finally ate for me after 3 months of not eating. She ate for me the other night. I put her in her typical deli cup and put her in her bin. She only hissed once in the process. I tried to stress her out as minimally as possible, and I left the room for a couple hours and I came back and it was gone, and I was so happy. So that was awesome. And then I believe Chief is probably going to get upgraded to medium rats as well. I think the small rats really aren't doing it for him anymore. So like I said, a lot of these guys are getting upgrades for food on top of upgrades for enclosures. I also did some pretty cool artwork with my friend Bella, who's been in the gecko video previously. I had a day off and she decided to come hang out, and we did some really cool stuff while she was here. So if you've never done these before, they're little reptile shed jars. Basically you take the sheds from either one snake, depending on how many snakes you have, or one species of snake. So for example, all these pink ones are my corn snake sheds. I put them in like really cute mason jars that I got from a place called Hobby Lobby. And basically I dyed them in pink food coloring, and it allows me to look at all the sheds that are complete and see the guys and how much they've grown and everything like that. So it's a really cool little neat activity if you like keeping the sheds. And the blue was my boas, but we all know how large all of my boas are. This actually only fit 3 sheds, and one of the sheds is actually Sally, my sand boa, and she's really tiny. So I'm probably gonna have to get a bigger jar and use this for Peppa, Kronk, and Chief, because they're all like a random. Oh well, Chief's a boa too. So then it'll just be for Kronk and Peppa because they're like the outliers. I don't have multiples of those. But regardless, it was super fun. You'll just have to let them dry out for a little bit. But otherwise, it was something super fun and easy, and it doesn't really cost anything because you most of the time have food coloring in your house already, and sheds free. So, and it's always something you can do continuously as they're always shedding, and you can do it with tegus and stuff like that too. Another really cool activity Bella and I did was, I had obviously purchased these jars a little bit ago, and with the jars I also purchased some non-toxic metallic paint. Washable paint. These are what they look like. They came in a pack of 6, but these are just 3 of them. I went with the metallic because I thought it would look cooler. And this is safe for reptiles. Obviously, you're not supposed to try and get it in their mouth or eyes or anything like that, but it's safe to be on their skin as long as you wash it off right after. You don't leave any residue after you're done painting. And I did 2 themed ones. So because I got 6 colors and I have 6 ball pythons, the first painting I did was all of my ball pythons. They each got their own color. Now this is something super inexpensive as well. I also got these canvases from Hobby Lobby. I got 2 in 1 pack, and I think it was $6. So this is something super cool if you want to decorate your reptile room. A lot of art is expensive. This is a super easy and meaningful way to have fun with your reptiles, and make something really memorable that you can think of and know that you made it with your snakes. So this was super fun to make. It was messy, so if you plan to do it, just plan to have towels everywhere, and a bucket of water ready and a towel ready to dry them off. It's a mess. So like I said, just prepare yourself, but it is really fun to do. And I did tell you I bought 2 of them. So the second one, we all know my lizards are my favorite. Lizards in general are my favorite animal. So I did one with just my lizards in the house. The only one that wasn't included was Rango, just because of the way he walks. He wouldn't leave many marks, and I feel like it would stress him out too much to get water, spray him down, wipe him down. So I didn't want to include him just for the sake of his stress, but everybody else was included. This purple is my black and white Tegu Dart. This orange gold is my bearded dragon Tang. This pretty blue is my crested gecko Chili, and this silver is my crested gecko Duck. And it's really cool because up here you can see Dart's footprint, and then you can see a couple other footprints. Like down here, you can see some of my crested gecko Chili's footprints. They're just super cute. So like I said, it's something super inexpensive, a cool activity to do with them. It's always going to be unique and different every time you do it. And it's just a nice way to add some flavor to your reptile room. So obviously that's not the entire point of this video, as you guys see, but I just wanted to show you guys that. You know, I know a lot of you guys are still in quarantine and locked down. I am not, but like I said, I know you guys are, and this is something inexpensive that you can do to fill your time, to just have something enjoyable to do, I guess. Now, on to the real point of this video. As you saw in the title, I'm going to be talking about my top 10 want reptiles. Now, as I go through these, I will post a picture of what they look like in case you've never heard of these animals before, but I ordered them, I feel, in want, but also in realistic terms, okay? So I didn't just put a Bell-Phase lace monitor as number 1, because that's just not realistic. So I put it as most likely for me to get, the one I want the most, and then as you get lower, they become more unrealistic. So let's dive right in. So number 1 is a redfoot tortoise. Now this can be varying a little bit, obviously with morph. I may want a cherry head or something like that. I know Shadows Reptiles has some really cool tortoises, and I know Venomous does as well, but I don't know exactly where I'm getting it from or who I'm getting it from. I'll figure that out as the time comes closer, but I just know I want one. I've always loved these guys. I love how cute they are when they're super small, and I love that they don't get huge. One thing about being a responsible owner is looking into their size and everything like that before you buy them. So one thing I'm not able to have at the moment would be a sulcata. And I love feeding animals. I don't know why. I don't know if any of you guys are like this, so let me know down below, but I love like making them their salads and watching their little faces eat it, and oh, they're just so cute. So that has to be number 1 on my list. I know I've talked to a couple people. My friend Emily at Woods Zoo, she has a tortoise, and they just melt my heart. She's trying to get me to get one, but I'm trying to be patient. With that being said, number 2 is a false water cobra. Now, what's really cool to me about these guys is they resemble cobras, and I love venomous reptiles, and I strive to have a lot of the things that I'm not capable of having in Florida at the moment, aka retics, burns, anacondas, even some monitors, some pythons, iguanas at this point, tegus at this point. I mean, I have Dart, but any future tegus, even venomous in the state of Florida, is extremely hard to keep. So a false water cobra while I live in Florida is something that I would love to keep. I would love to experience handling. I'm not too terrified of them biting me. If it happens, it happens. I guess, like I say with everything, it's part of owning it. So, but I just think they're beautiful. I know Pale Scales, I believe, is her has one, and oh my god, it's just so gorgeous. So it's definitely up there on my list. I think they'd be a super amazing species to keep. So that's something that's up there. Now number 3 is, honestly, if I had the space and the money and everything, it would probably be bumped up to 1. But it's only number 3 because it's something I really, really want, probably most of all. But it's like that availability and reality that bumps it to 3. So number 3 is an emerald tree monitor. These guys are so incredible, and like I just said, lizards are my favorite species in the entire world. They just fascinate me, and monitors usually get bigger than tegus do. Obviously there's several species, emerald tree monitors, Ackie monitors, that get a little smaller than tegus, or quite a bit smaller than tegus do. But emerald tree monitors are just so inquisitive. I know Roman C, she's just, her emerald tree monitor is amazing. I know she works with some as well. I just love their intelligence. That's what always has fascinated me with lizards, is their level of intelligence that they carry. They're so inquisitive, and I love that you get this attitude, this intelligence, this curiousness, but also still this sort of affection in a way, because they still do attach to you, but in a smaller version. And it's very cool to me because I like to keep varied species. I do like to keep arboreal versus terrestrial, lizards versus snakes, geckos, tarantulas. I just like to keep it different. It allows me to experience a lot of different animals and a lot of different personalities, and improve myself as a keeper, just because I'm open myself up to a bigger spectrum. So because these guys are super big climbers, it would be really cool to see them in a naturalistic terrarium. It would be super cool, and I'd make sure that that would be something I would spend a lot of money and a lot of time on. So like I said, not as realistic, but it's something that I would die to have one day. That brings us to number 4. Number 4 is also a snake. I would love a green tree python. I do want the red ones. I don't know exactly, I haven't like looked super far into it, but I just know that when they're babies, they'll start out as red or yellow, or even an orange, and I think the red ones are absolutely stunning. I don't know which locality I would want, but they're just beautiful. I love that you get to watch them develop. I love keeping Kronk. He's my only arboreal snake, and I would love to just be able to keep another one. I just love the way they act. I love their attitude. It keeps me on my toes. Again, I like to keep myself challenged and improving as a keeper, so I feel like Kronk really tests my abilities. So that brings us to number 5, which is a red tegu. So obviously you guys know I already have Dart. She's a black and white Argentine tegu, but I don't know what it is. I guess I do know what it is. I used to volunteer at a reptile sanctuary called Croc Encounters. I wasn't there very long, unfortunately, and I'd love to go back very soon, but for the time that I was there, there was a 20-plus-year-old red tegu named Jellybean. And he was just the sweetest tegu. He was so old, but so sweet and gentle. He would just let you hold him. I think I even do have a picture of him here. It's on my Instagram, but I'll post it right here for you guys. And he would just let me hold him, and he had the biggest jowls, and I think that is like the cutest thing. Obviously you don't want them to be massive, but to an extent they're just super adorable, and they are a little smaller of a species than per se Dart is, the black and white Argentine tegus. So it's like Dart, but a little smaller. So I don't know, I love their colors. I'd love to get the high red ones. My friend Savvy actually has one, and it's so small and adorable, and I'm obsessed with it. So I would love to get one like that one day. It would be super awesome. Number 6. This is something I've wanted for a long time, but the reason why I've hesitated on them and why they've been placed for number 6 is because of the fact that they are pricey, and they do require a big enclosure just because they are red-tail boas. Obviously that kind of gives it away, but number 6 is a Sunglow boa. This is a red-tail boa, but it's obviously the Sunglow morph. They just look like highlighters to me. I would make sure if I did this, I would spend the money, so it's very vibrant. I love their colorations as much as I do love, you know, the natural type, the wild types. I don't have crazy morphs. Sunglow boas just, ooh, they just melt me. I love them. I can't get over how vibrant they are, and I would love to get a female, as female red tails get freaking massive, and my other guys are on the smaller side, and Aro is really big, but I'd love to get a female red tail, as again, that's the closest I can get to a large snake like that in the state of Florida. So that would be something that would make me so happy, but like I said again, they're pricey. Number 7. I haven't talked about this one much, and honestly, when I was writing this list for myself, it kind of popped in my head just because my friend Large Lizards, his name's Wes, he is on Instagram and he has a monkey-tailed skink. That's these guys right here, and they're just so fascinating. I don't know what it is that told me that just sparked their name, their species in my head, but once I wrote it down, I was like, this would be something I would really enjoy keeping, to be honest. Adding this to my family would just be super cool because it's something so different from everything else I own, and it would just be a different, I don't know, experience, I guess. And it would just be really cool, and it would teach me a lot, I feel. Now, number 8 is something that is farther down on the list, even though I really like them, because one, I have Rango, and I'm a one chameleon, one beardy kind of girl. I don't like to have multiples of them. I would love to own an Ambilobe Panther Chameleon. They are absolutely stunning. I love their colorations. I love the ones with the high red and the high blues. I had a friend who had one, and they're just so beautiful. Now, like I said, I wouldn't get another chameleon until Rango unfortunately passed, which a long time from now, thank the Lord. He's only 2.5, so he's been with me since he was a very little hatchling, so he's got a long time with me, but that is just something that would be later down the road, which is also why it's number 8. However, I forgot a crucial member on this list that I do want to add. It's probably going to be at number 5, tied with a red tegu, and that's a blue tongue skink. My friend Dainty Dinosaurs M, she has a blue tongue skink. I know Reptilian Garden has a blue tongue skink. A lot of these girls have blue tongue skinks. I didn't write them on here, and I was thinking about them when I wrote this, but I guess I forgot. They're very high up there. They're so adorable. They're like snakes with legs, and they're just freaking wicked cool. So they're up there, and I can't believe I forgot about them. That brings us though to number 9. Number 9 is something that I will not get for a little bit, even though I want one really bad. I feel like I'm saying that with every single number on this list, which is hilarious. The reason why this is number 9 is because it's an albino hog. So obviously you guys have probably seen, if you are on my Instagram, if that's how you found me, my struggles with my hognose Peppa. I've had her for like a 1.5 years and she has grown like 2 centimeters. She's been super difficult with feeding. I've tried everything. I've tried live, I've tried frozen, I had to give her a lizard at one point. I've tried smaller meals, I've tried bigger meals, I've tried frog juice, I tried tuna juice. Basically nothing worked, okay? Everything for this hognose. And I don't want to envelop myself into another hognose who potentially could have more issues, even though at this rate I would make sure I would get one that's not a juvenile. I would make sure to buy one that's been on pinkies for some time, is steadily eating. But I don't feel comfortable with getting myself into another hognose until I get my psychotic one under control, because it's a mess. Also, that would require me to get another rack system, so that's another reason why it's so far down on the list. The false water would not be in a rack. The sun glow boa would not be in a rack. The green tree python would not be in a rack, but the albino hog would. So I would have to get another rack system for one snake, and that would encourage me to get more snakes. So that is another thing that is not available with this room. We're kind of capped out here. We're playing with the room a little bit when we're doing upgrades, but still, I'm not trying to be recording videos like this. Recording videos like all my snake bins are around me and stuff. Yeah, no, we're not trying to have that happen. So, number 10. This is tied between 2 things. It's the same animal, but they're very similar. And that's just because it's so unrealistic for me that a girl can dream, and that why not put it at number 10. Number 10, I think, is on a lot of people's list, even though it's so impossible for me, especially right now. A black Asian water monitor or a Belle Phase lace monitor. Now, the reason why I love these guys is because they are massive. And as much as I love lizards, you know, I also love the saying, the bigger the better. And I love Dart, but I would love Dart even more if she was like 3 feet longer and like double her size. So an Asian water monitor in general would make me the happiest person in the world, but a black one would be even better, because one of my favorite cartoon movies is How to Train Your Dragon, and I would have no choice but to name him Toothless. And I love boy animals over girls. I don't know why. Literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 out of 15 of my snakes are boys. and Tang's a boy, and Rango's a boy. I love boys. I don't know what it is. I feel like their demeanor's better. I don't know. Let me know if you feel that's the same or not. I worked with an Asian water monitor one time, and they do imprint, and she imprinted on a male figure, her previous owner. So female, she just did not tolerate. She did tolerate me a little better than normal, but she would try and tail whip me, and I tried to hand feed her as much as I could, and I did feed her. Most of the time it was me feeding her, but she just didn't like me, and that was okay. But I just would love to get the experience to work with one more hands-on in the future, and even owning one. I know Jay loves black Asian water monitors, and he would love a black one. He would love one in general, even if we got the normal type, I guess you could say. I tried to make this as accurate and realistic as possible. Like I said, I ordered it more on but also reality. So let me know if you have any that are similar, or if there's some that you're totally off owning, or if your list is even similar to mine, or even if you have an opinion on which one I should get first, because some of them are pretty close in cost. You know, the ones that I could potentially see getting first, if you want to suggest one, would be a redfoot tortoise, a green tree python, or a false water cobra. Between the three, honestly, those would be the most realistic for me to get as my next reptile. Like I said, Peppa finally ate, and I'm eternally the happiest person alive, really, just to know that she ate. Like, that just makes me such a happy mom. And I know if you are worried, how did she not eat for 3 months? I do monitor their weight. I weigh them monthly. I also track their shedding and when they eat and such. So I have been weighing Peppa, and she only lost 1 gram within 3 months of not eating, even at her size. So I wasn't worried. I knew it was something she was probably doing personally, or maybe the transition with the tank and everything like that that's been going on. It just took her a little bit to reset and be comfortable with eating again. And I've also been working on handling her more so that she's friendlier. So maybe it's a combined effort of all of that made her eat. Regardless, I'm happy, I'm thrilled. And if you don't follow my Instagram, the saddest part and the conclusion to this video is that unfortunately we lost a member in the reptile family. We lost my emperor scorpion, Matilda. I'm not really entirely sure what happened. She stopped eating for quite some time, and I did do some research, and it said that they can go a year without eating, no problem. And right before she passed, she actually started eating for me again. She was eating crickets. She was being a little more active, but at the same time, right before her death, about a week before, she was acting very off. She wasn't moving as much, and I got her when she was already big, so I'm not really entirely sure on her age. They only live about 8 years. That can either be less or more, obviously depending where they came from, how they were bred, how they were taken care of before I got them. And I do think I got them from a reliable breeder, but like I said, you never know what happens. However, I am going to have Offensive Resin on Instagram. She's going to do a mold of Matilda for me, or an epoxy resin of Matilda for me, and I'm going to be able to keep her forever, and that's a beautiful piece of artwork I'm going to love keeping here with me. She was my first scorpion. Eventually, when I'm ready, I will get another one. I don't consider that on this list just because I already have an enclosure set up that I will sanitize before I get the new one. And it's not really a cost for care. You guys know what I mean. Getting a tarantula is completely different from getting a snake. They're very different. So that will come in time when I feel the time is right and when I feel I'm ready for another scorpion. I was pretty upset with Matilda's passing. I know you guys know how much I loved her, but if there was something wrong with her or if she was old, I'm glad to have kept her while I did. I'm glad I could have educated so many people with her while I had her, and that so many people learned a lot about scorpions and grew from their fears while I had her. So R.I.P. Matilda, we love you. So that kind of concludes the video for today. Sorry to end on a sad note, but it's really good to be back on YouTube and recording. Like I said, I act like it's been 2 months, but a week has been long for me since I've been consistently doing it now for a couple months. And I'm glad everyone's doing so great. Everyone's adjusting in the rack system beautifully. Everyone's eating, growing, shedding, as always, molting, you know, the whole 9 yards. We love all of it. So I appreciate you guys coming on to this video with me today and watching. If you really enjoyed it, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, whatever in the world it could possibly be, drop a comment down below. I know I asked a few questions too at some point in the video, so if you guys want to answer those too, go ahead and drop that comment down below. Let me know how you feel. Let me know what you want to see. You know, I'm always up for suggestions or anything you guys have in mind. If you want to know when I post, as of now, again, it's still every Saturday, but sometimes, like last week, events happen, life happens. So if you want to know when I post next, hit that notification bell and it will alert you. And most of all, if you really enjoy my videos, my animals, and joining me on this beautiful journey that we call life, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It would mean the absolute world to me. So I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.